like, I would not want to do it. That's how I'm feeling like right now. I'm not in the finals or anything. I'm not drafting here, but I'm just not feeling that hero.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
if we're trying to find symptoms of why Liquid are just getting obliterated in these past 2 games, it definitely seems like the Templar Assassin is not helping them.
Yes. It just seems that it has too many bad matchups versus Thompson's favorite heroes that like run you over. Because I can see the idea why they think it would be good. Like all these traps to make it hard to run in. But if you lose your lane that bad, and it's also like affects, like they're losing that lane and they're losing every other lane these past 2 games. And when you do that, like, I don't know, like, what do you do? It's just extremely hard to play.
I think, like you said, it's really not good against Thompson's hero pool, right? Like TA, Thompson's not like a standard mid laner, right? I don't think you see him as this like TA,
He's very
SF,
non-traditional,
Storm, right?
Yeah.
You see him as this like Pugna, Monkey King, you know, Ember to an extent, right?
Yeah.
And then I guess Invoker, but even
yeah, Invoker,
that, he
stuff
plays
like that.
non-traditional,
And
yeah.
TA beats like all the standard heroes, so everyone's really used to playing against TA. And all his heroes are just good against TA. So it's like you said, he's just kind of used to, I'm pretty sure, just beating TA in his game.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
as we see the first phase bans, what's the new change? Elder Titan gets banned out, and guess what slips through? It's the IO. OG immediately snap it up.
Yeah, they haven't lost, yeah?
Pi, you were a victim of some Ana IO. What was that experience like?
No, it's one of those, like, the game was, we're feeling pretty good. And then suddenly, like, when that hero hits his timing, like 15 with Ags, like, you're just dying. Like, you're just dying. And I think it's not very complicated to play for him. Like, they don't really care how he does in lane. Like, they want to do fine. But then he's just farming jungle. Like, that's all he does. And he has a very, like, he looks at a fight, right? And he's like, if I want to be there, I click the spell and I'm there. If I don't want to be there, I'm just going to continue to farm.
It's like having an alchemist combined with a specter in one hero.
A little bit. Like, he doesn't farm that fast, but he farms, like, he doesn't farm that much slower than anyone else. Yeah. And he has insane timings.
His timings are just like better for the gold he gets than most other carries. His 15 Ags is like
it's
probably the best
insane.
15 timing I think in the game right now.
Probably.
Now, before talking about our game, it was like they first pick ET, right? And I'm like, oh shit. The Wisp is in the pool. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna pick Wisp. And like everything, like I had thought about, like everything just looked weak. Like everything just felt weak. And then like, yeah, but then you take a deep breath, you just go with whatever. And like, we can do this.
And Liquid take a breath, and they go for the Chen, which did bring them success in their first game, and they take the Omni Knight, which OG had picked earlier.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go for AA. I believe it's been banned out every game here, because like
because the Alchemist AA.
yeah, it's Alchemist. It's good versus, pretty good versus Shen, pretty good versus Omni Knight. I don't think OG will pick it here though. It's kind of awkward playing with a Wisp.
They don't really have stuns either.
Yeah. So I'm hoping Liquid have like, you know, their last pick, right? So they have like a lot of avenues opened up now. I hope.
I'm a little scared right now of this Wisp because
Only a little.
yeah. Okay, so commonly
Wait, of this Wisp or for this Wisp?
of
Oh, okay.
because commonly you want like a hero that gets on top of this Wisp, right? Especially that 15 timing. He's scariest when his balls are max range.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's able to like chase you, and then you get slowed. So if you get a little closer, he pulls them in a little, and he stays at this like max range basically. And neither of those heroes are full commit heroes, right?
Right.
The Omni can supplement like one if you have like an Ember, say, right? He can go in with a Grace, and that's decent. But these two are more like you want to fight, and they want you to fight into them, right? They want you to find this Chen and this Omni for a lot of heal, and I think that's playing the Wisp's game right now.
This actually reminds me a bit. Liquid plays Secret, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe Secret picked Wisp one of the games.
Yes.
They did. And it was one of those, like, and Liquid had a similar like thing going on there with like a lot of heal and like they would push down buildings, and they just didn't let Secret get to their timings. Like they already had a Rax before Wisp was level 15.
Wasn't that was that the Meepo game though?
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
it was the Meepo
So
game.
Meepo is banned out.
Meepo's already gone. Yeah. So now I'm hoping. That's why I'm like I'm hoping they have something, because you need this extreme, like it just kills everything that's in front of it. So maybe a Leshrac or something like that. Lesh is gone,
banned.
so
Yeah, OG's been consistently banning that.
yeah, because I don't want them to end up with a life stealer or something.
Yeah.
I don't.
Other
think it'll be
teams
very
had
hard
tried
to
the
play.
Lifestealer against the IO, and it did not work.
Yeah,
I mean, it's too slow, right?
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you get this Midas Radiance timing, and you're still weaker than the Wisp.
yeah. And they also have to. Okay, there's a tiny pick, but Jarex has played it now. Thompson has played it, so they'll probably like hold on a bit. They'll see who plays it later. Because we played against the Bristleback mid with Ion, and that was spooky. That was frightening.
The other
like,
ones they've played are Gyro mid,
yeah.
Troll mid, and Windrunner mid. So a bunch of these like, attack speed or attack targets, I guess, steroids kind of thing.
So in this Secret versus Liquid game that Team Secret had picked the IO, Liquid went for a Chen, a Tidehunter, an Earth Spirit, a Leshrac, and a Meepo.
Yeah.
So the Meepo and Leshrac are banned out. Tidehunter's still available, but we're not enthusiastic about that hero. But Bristleback gets selected instead.
This was Liquid versus... Or no, this was Secret versus Pichu, right? That they picked Omni Bristle versus the Alk.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they ran this Omni Bristle and they won the game in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that's what they're going for. I mean, I'm guessing that. And I think they kind of stole it a bit from OG now too, the Bristle. Limited their options.
OG had a Wisp, right, with it though? It was like Omni Bristle Wisp.
Yes.
That was way scary, but they have a Chen to kind of like take place of the Wisp.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Most likely a no-tail about it.
Yeah, because I feel like how the drafts are setting up, like Liquid actually have a chance here to get a draft that they can end this game quickly with.
What about a 3 Abo?
Yeah.
You laid in against the Omni Knight?
I mean, I'm guessing that's like something like that. I haven't really seen. I know that RNG played a lot of Abaddon.
Some of the Chinese teams play it as a 3.
I didn't look at a lot of replays though. I'm not really sure how strong is in lane or what his timing.
They go like 0-2-1. They don't. They skip Miscoil early, and then they go early like Vlad Solar Crest and just kind of buff your team up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes they'll just straight up take Curse at 1 and just harass.
Yeah, just hit people.
Yeah.
So they picked Liquid pick Earth Spirit, right? Last time they were against Wisp in the Secret game.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of like confident, right, with what happened.
I think they're feeling pretty good right now.
But they're still lacking the most important thing in that draft, in my opinion, which was the Leshrac and the Meepo. These are heroes that take structures during the downtime period, which Bristleback can kind of achieve that, but he needs some levels and some farm. He's definitely much slower than a Meepo or a Leshrac.
Yeah. So the last pick for Liquid is interesting. But on the other hand, like they'll see OG's picks now, and Timbersaw.
Timbersaw. So a hero that can deal with Bristleback, obviously, if you have reactive armor, then you're not too concerned about Quill Spray being spammed on you.
Yeah, I mean, for OG, it's good that they picked this, because they need to buy time when Liquid are running down lanes. So, like, they can cut waves, spam out creep waves, so they need something like that.
How does this Wisp scale to, like, 30, 35, 40 minutes? Like, do you think this
the games never go late enough, unfortunately.
No, I have a feeling, like, if Liquid don't have like a substantial advantage by Wisp hitting 15 with Axe, I think this game is going to be really hard for them. It's just too much consistent damage without them being able to go on. Like, they have an Abaddon just shielding this Wisp, right?
Yeah,
like, if it gets to that point, then Liquid are not ahead. I think this... We still have one more pick. Like, maybe they'll pull something out. But how it's looking right now, like, they need to get an advantage within the, like, first 25 minutes.
So even if the game's even at, like, 25 minutes, you think they'll lose, right?
Yeah, I feel OG should be.
What a great hero Wisp is these days.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is nothing new. IO being first phase picked is a very common thing in Dota 2 history. It's just not in this role exactly.
No, exactly. No. That's the funny part. You're just first picking. Everyone knows it's your carry. It's carry Wisp right there.
I mean, I don't think it's had this high of a win rate, right? I think it has like maybe 1 loss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember like back. I think it was TI when it was released, like TI 3, I guess. Then I'm pretty sure the win rate was insane.
The first TI that he showed up was pretty insane. Even though it was very Western biased, very few Chinese teams were doing it. I think it was just eHome at the time with their tinies and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was like TI 2, I think, and they won every game they played.
That's right.
Really? Yeah.
But other teams were still sleeping on it. Every single. That's one of the reasons why I considered Liquid. I had mentioned this on an earlier draft panel. Earlier in the season, Liquid weren't looking too great, and it's because IO wasn't in captain's mode.
Yeah.
Because you had a free ban against Liquid every single time.
Yeah.
Just now, it's a carry IO, which it's a brave new world.
Yeah. The funny part about the carry IO is it's not some high skill cap. It's nothing like that. It's
pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward. It's
you go Bassi.
Yeah.
You buy your Helmet Dominator.
Yeah.
You buy Ags. You buy Heart.
Yeah.
Win the game.
And once you have Heart, you can ditch your Hod creep and tether your mid laner.
Yeah.
Or your off laner.
Which, that's a good question. So do you think OG are going to look for someone to enable with their IO, like how they did the Bristleback in the past, or is the dude self-sufficient enough that if you have like the Tiny and the Timbersaw, that's the only partner you need?
Yeah, I'm a little curious how they're thinking about the lanes here. I don't think Thompson plays Timbersaw.
I haven't seen it before.
So
it may have happened.
I'm guessing this is an off-lane Timbersaw.
Do you think there's any world where this Wisp is not a carry?
Okay. Oh,
Now there might be, actually.
I think it's a mid gyro.
Yeah.
Okay.
off lane or side lane Timber versus this Bristleback,
Yeah.
and then a 4 Tiny, a 5 Abba, carry Wisp.
One Anna. Okay.
That sounds about what they would do. No, because I think Wisp is still viable as a 4 with Gyro. Because that lane, if you play that right, it's really strong.
Or you can just let both of them be cores,
Yeah.
and then it's really, really strong.
Then it gets extra spice.
So Liquid needs a carrier or a mid, depending on what they want this Bristle to do.
OG is expecting it to be a mid because they banned out the Shadow Fiend.
So I think the Bristle Gyro lane is actually decent for the Bristle.
Okay.
So it's not going to be a Templar Assassin, but we'll go to another Weehawk Classic. It will be the Wind Ranger.
I like the idea of the hero better. I don't know how good it is this game. I'm not sure. I don't think it's that good. But like the idea is correct. Like you have spells that you can use on them.
It has a lot of damage that they can actually kill the Wisp at the start, right? Even through shield, I think. The Wisp is killable if the winner has like, you know, MKB, BKB.
Right.
You can't really stop him.
And
Wisp doesn't really go MKB either for the evasion, so.
It's rare, but I guess also in a traditional sense, like IO being tethered to another unit gives potential shackle targets, stuff like that. But this is the last potential game for Team Liquid. Will they be able to stay in this grand final bracket? Maybe Purge can give a little bit more explanation as we pass to him with the last word.
If you guys are just getting here, IO is the carry that has been dominating the tournament, at least one of them, and Liquid gets a chance to see if they can break it, but the downside is that they don't get the same heroes that they were able to use earlier to defeat it, so it's going to be a lot harder to beat it. So what they ended up doing instead is trying to abuse Chen. One of the benefits of Chen is that his aura increases the healing that any of his nearby allies or creeps give, and they're pairing that with another hero that can heal, Omni Knight. So those two guys can heal and buff up their strong tanky hero Bristleback and make him pretty close to unkillable. But on the other side, what OG's playing around with is also pretty strong. They've got Io, they've got the Tiny, they've got Abaddon who can also buff up, but most importantly they have Timbersaw. And Timber's a hero that has some flexibility in how effective he is, but most importantly his first skill will reduce the strength or primary stat, and there's a lot of strength heroes over on the Liquid side, so it's very possible that Timber can run away with this game if he has a good match. Keep an eye on him. Without further ado, Game 4 of the TI Grand Finals. Let's start at the casters.
Thank you, Purge. Game 4. OG up at the moment in this best of 5, 2-1 against Liquid. Their last two games, some of the most dominant performances we've seen from them from the entire tournament.
Yep.
In this game 4, Liquid, they have had the chance to switch it up. We're not seeing the TA. We are going to be going back to the Weehawk Wind Ranger. It is something a little different. It's something we know he's good at, but is it good enough to beat the OG IO, Giannis?
They've definitely looked to go for something that's more early game centric. The last two drafts, they went for the Tidehunter, the TA, and a Jug, or Tidehunter, TA, and Lifestealer. Very slow paced draft. This time, they get their Chen. They've been very good with the Chen, as we saw them also playing it earlier on today. They're very good at playing aggressive and making moves around the map, either with GH playing a Tusk or GH playing Earthspray. I feel like I always see them having one of these two combos with that Chen to make those moves around. And Bristleback too. This is a very early paced hero, as we see the Goo as well as the Spray get picked up at 1 and 2, and you are pretty much the strongest hero on the map when you have that. And we see them immediately set up with an aggro tri-lane. They have a Headdress on Kuroki for that extra health regen, and they really want to put the pressure to shut down Ana on the IO.
Let's see if they can do it. We saw some scary stats on the Ana IO low into this game. He is 19-1 in the last 20 games he's played. And of course, here at TI, 5-0. No one has been able to beat him. Liquid are going to have to see if they can do it in their last chance here.
No, this is the Goo that we're talking about, that really strong level 1. Well, they can actually go to dive him, though. He has a shield available, and they actually can't. He doesn't have a salve on himself this time around, though, like he did in the last 2 games. And also, I believe with the carry IO, not every single time, but they did have an Elder Titan with it most of the times. That's where I feel like it helps a lot when you're playing into aggro lanes, because you cannot aggro tri-lane into an Elder Titan most of the time. So this time it's going to be a Abaddon who's not nearly as strong as that ET.
Oh, we'll see Liquid with that start, able to make sure that the creep wave meets underneath the tower so they can get them the creep equilibrium in their favor. Very interesting to watch some of these other lanes, see how Weehawk can get off to a start against the tops and mid Gyro. He should have a decent shot here, right, in this 1v1.
Yeah, he should be able to. He has higher base damage. Yeah. The thing about Gyrocopter is you have this godly animation. One of the best animations in the game that's absolutely instant on range heroes, and you have missiles, and you have a Tiny who's going to constantly be throwing Weehawk back into the tower.
That's a lot of hands there, and it all looks to add up. They drag him back. He's got the point in the win run, looking for the body blocks. Jarex won't be able to quite get it entirely, but still able to get a good amount of damage done. Weehawk in mid.
Has to be careful for that next toss back as Jarex is going to go for it again.
He is Jarex. Going deep behind the tower, seeing if he had the control. Up he goes with the toss. Thompson closing in. Wim runs back online. As Weeha can hold his distance, but OG already getting incredibly aggressive in this middle lane.
It's the way they like to play with the Jerax on the Tiny. Just run around, shut down the mid laner. Doesn't matter what hero it is, you're going to be able to just throw him every single time he walks up for a toss. Weeha gets his full salve off.
We're certainly seeing though down bottom, this tri-lane, it is able to bring these heroes down pretty low. Obviously the question is if they can push them over the edge and get the kills, but the aggression certainly is there. And once the level 2s come out for the 3 members of Liquid, we'll see that pressure amped up even more. Jack's going to come down, help turn this duo into a tri-lane from OG as Kuro pops the Fairy Fire, won't save him. Miscall from No-Tail, gets the kill. Now Anna's going to be the focus. Miracle and GH trying to get on top of him, but a quick body block from No-Tail and a shield handed over to Anna will mean that Liquid cannot chase any further.
Just eyes on Jerax, right? Jerax is going to just move from lane to lane to lane, looking to just punish the aggressive tri-lane of Liquid. And they can't really respond too well. Chen, not really a hero that wants to be moving around TPing at all. It's GH who has to respond to any types of ganks that Jerax does, and doesn't feel nearly as good as an Earthspirit, and he's kind of limited on mana as well.
So it sort of talks about the mid, talks about the bottom, this top lane. 1v1, Seb versus Mind Control. The Timber versus the Omni. What do we expect from this matchup?
I haven't gotten to see this one too often, but I think that they're both going to just be able to farm. I think Seb might actually be able to bully Mind Control a bit, just because you don't have to worry too much about your regen. While